You guys, this is Rico and I am back again on your computer screen. So if you guys are doing well, you're doing fantastic because you are what? Watching this video. Subscribe if you want to see me talk about different topics pertaining to East Asian pop culture as well as other current events. Turn on the notification bell, click like. You can click dislike because that's pretty much invisible and non-existent now, but tell me how you feel in the comments below in whichever way that you can. So this has been going on for like 12 days, 11 days, and it involves Sunme, who is a very popular solo singer. She is of Wonder Girls fame from JYP. She went from there and she built herself up in her looks and in her repertoire of music. And now she has a new gig. After all of her millions of adoring fans, she is going apparently be the new host, which was actually Jessi's show. Like, I mean, when I thought about this, I was thinking like Jessi's name just automatically in front of this whole thing. But I'm gonna be honest with you all, I have not really been checking out this interview show at all. I watched like maybe the first 2 episodes because I like Jessi. I love Jessi's charisma. I'm a fan of her music. I just really like her as an entertainer. And her story, how she worked so hard to come up, she finally is where I feel like that she should be, but you know, there's always more to do. And for her to find out that after her taking a hiatus, which I didn't know she even took a hiatus, I just figured that this was something that was going forever, but I know she's working on music. I know she was been doing this show and non-scripted at that. And then she must have felt she needed a break. So she's like, you know, after this episode, I'm gonna go on a break. And then come to find out, I don't know who found out that this tea was brewing on the stove, who went and got a cup of it and secretly started sipping on it and drinking it, but it was in Jessi's comments that she was being replaced by her friend Sunme. And so everybody was like, what? What? Like, even I was like, you know, because it's kind of like, but that's her show, right? But then you forget, no, it's not her show. It's actually under like a whole nother network, and she was hired to do this show, but most people see it as her show. So Jessi quickly hops on Instagram Live to explain, like, you know, y'all, I ain't even know. I ain't know nothing about this. Like, but you know, send Sunme love. Continue to support. She's like, I'm unbothered. I have grown. I'm on the level of Beyonce's unbotheredness at this point. And I mean, I can respect it. But then when I really sit and I marinate in all of the actions that have happened, I'm like, no,
this is kind of disrespectful.
I mean, I understand her for not being upset, but it's not Sunme at all. It's the network and the people she worked with not informing her that she was being replaced, which is very disrespectful, especially when the show came to prominence because of her. And then for them at least not shooting her email and be like, you know, we're gonna move on. You know, we found someone else we feel like will be more catering toward the Korean audience. And that's just what it's gonna be. I mean, I think we all would have respected that. I'm sure she would have respected it because the way she's handling this whole situation. But we gotta also be honest. I'm gonna keep it 100%. What they really didn't want to explain to Jessi was that the interest in the show was starting to wane and decline. So on YouTube, each video went from getting like over 1 million views to only getting like 600K, you know, 700K, 500,000. And we're coming from when it first started, it getting over 1 million. Each video that I would see would get over 1 million. I want to say that maybe it's because of the guests that she had on, but at the same time, I think that people, after a while of seeing Jessi and getting her personality in doses, for some people it's too much. You know, they might be like, eh. Then there's other people that might have just got bored overall. I love her personality. But I will say that I was one of the viewers that earlier on I kind of lost interest. I don't know what it was. I think that I kind of like the mystique of her and just kind of seeing her personality in doses on Instagram lives and in interviews and variety shows. But then to see her like every week, I think that I started to also kind of back up a little bit from her. And it's just not really her per se. I think it's just being overexposed to her. And she's very wild in her own kind of way, and I think she does it to be funny, but I'm sure there are many guests and many people behind the scenes that felt that it might have been a tad bit disrespectful. I remember the Kwan Sang Woo interview and when she started twerking in his face, and I was like, I'm like, Jessi, you doing too much. Like, if we were close and we were friends, I would have told her right after, you doing too much. Like, it's kind of disrespectful, especially with the culture. He's older than you, he's married, he has kids. You know, like, now, had she twerked and it been like not in the direction of his face, like, he froze like a stone cold statue because he didn't know what to do. And she's twerking, and it's like, okay, to non-Korean, foreign, Kyopo fans, we might be like, ha ha ha. But you know, Korean people gonna be like, what the hell is she doing? Like, oh my goodness. Like, that's disrespectful right there. It's so disrespectful. But that's her, and I'm not saying to tone down her personality because she is who she is. She should never apologize for being who she is, but there's a time and a place. And there's a rhythm too. But I do love the fact that she grew so much as being an interviewer, and that she was able to captivate even her haters who had so much and still have a lot to say about her. And she continues to make music that I'm not always the fan of, but I respect her grind. I respect that she's constantly working, and she works hard. She's definitely a woman that cares about her fans, cares about doing something and grinding and constantly saying, well, I gotta put out a song. I have to do something for you guys because you guys support me so much. You're my Jebbies. I love it with all my heart. I love it. It's just that I do think that in entertainment, there's some things that's like, you know, maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe this is not the time or the place for that. But as far as her as an entertainer, I really like her. I don't even think she's the best rapper in the world, but I love her charisma. I love her confidence. I would love for her to go back to really working on getting into that part of her voice that really showcased her vocals. I do feel like sometimes that with songs she plays it too safe, and it's like she's afraid to really stretch her vocal range. And it's there, like Sajin Sarang, that song, beautiful song for her. I would love to hear her try to go back into like that falsetto range in her vocals, because I feel like that is there. You can tell she's not very comfortable going into that range in her voice, and I think that she has in her mindset that she can only do low songs. But no, I mean, yeah, she has a raspy voice. It's a very like attractive quality in her raspiness, but don't be afraid to try to stretch your voice a little bit to see all that there is. Don't get too comfortable being in one realm of your voice, because I've heard her voice do things in like Ulujima, the song I just mentioned as well, Fat Love, that's the translation. She definitely has different layers to her voice and she can work on it. Sunme, I love her as far as like her videos, her visuals. She's not a powerhouse vocalist. She's more of just a chilled, laid back. Love her new stuff that she came out with. Childhood is my song. She did The band version, loved it. So you guys, this is a lot to think about. Put below how you feel. This should not be a one woman versus the other woman. This should just be like, how do you feel about Jessi and what she has done for the show and her being replaced, and support Sunme as well. See what she can bring before you really bash the show, you guys. Follow my social media, mostly my Instagram, also have a blog on East Asian pop culture. The link is always down in the description box below. And remember, be real, stay real, live in the real, and I will always be back. Love you guys. Love all your opinions. I will see you